Alright, let's talk about scientific notation. So, as I mention a lot to my students, is when I see this fruit, okay, you might not be able to tell what it is, but I'll say this one is an orange. What about when I see this? Well, I know this is a car by just looking at the picture. Now the same thing should happen to you in mathematics. If we see 10 raised to the fourth power or 10 raised to the negative fourth power, we know that both of these relate to scientific notation. Okay, so both of them relates to scientific notation. It's actually one trick with mathematics. As soon as you can start identifying where things belong, it just becomes a lot easier to solve. So before we get into an example, let's look at a number line. So 0, -1, -2, -3. 1, 2, 3. Well, if I start at 0 and I move to the right, my numbers increase. If I start from 0 and move to the left, my numbers decrease, right? This is a very important fundamental, not only in numbers and algebra, but also college algebra and calculus. So why did I explain this to you? Well, if we look at 10 raised to the fourth power, I know our number will increase because it's a positive 4. If I look at 10 raised to the negative fourth power, I know my numbers will decrease. So to the left of my number line. So let's look at the following example. 2 multiplied 10 to the fourth power. So what I'm simply doing is I'm going to write a 2. And my decimal will always be in front of 2. And all I can do now is move the decimal 4 slots to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my decimal will be there, so I can add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So my answer will be 20,000. So what about when I look at 10 multiply raised to the negative fourth power? Well, just for the educational purpose, I'm going to put my 2 now on this side. So now we've learned that this 4, or 10 raised to the fourth power, indicates that my decimal will jump 4 slots to the right because it's positive. I can relate this back to my positive values. So if it's negative, I need to relate this back to my negative values. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can add a new 0. My decimal moved 4 slots to the right. So now my final answer would then be 0.0002. And that's how we solve basic scientific notations. In the next video, we'll talk about advanced scientific notation problems.